Hello and welcome to Goatcast Episode 3. I am your host, the Wolf of Lego, and I'm joined by my co-host...
Zach, hi again.
Hello again, Zach.
Hi. I'm surprised you keep inviting me here.
Why would I not?
Oh, you know.
I don't have friends. I don't have a replacement for you.
Yet.
No.
Let's throw a yet in there. So, what are we going to talk about today?
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the newest 4 episodes of The Bad Batch, 3 episodes of the Loki show that is currently airing on Disney+, a little bit about Halo Infinite that was revealed during E3. But before we get into that, we're going to do our little segment on what we've been listening to or playing or watching lately. So Zach, what have you been up to?
Well, like I said last week, Critical Role had finished their Season 2, but they are releasing more information about the animated show that they're doing for Season 1, so that's exciting.
Oh, they're making a show off of the first
Yeah,
season?
yeah, they're just doing an animated show,
Oh, that's kind of neat.
which I'm excited for, which might be easier for some people to get into.
Yeah, possibly, if they're not into the game itself.
Sure.
Anything else?
No, other than it's the same illustrator as the Justice League. I can't. What is it? Animator? That's the one.
Oh, okay. So he's animating or lead
And
animator?
yeah, I was trying to remember his name, and I can't seem to do it.
Yeah, I don't really know those that show particular. I don't know the people that worked on it, but I know that type of art style. Are you talking about the original Justice League show?
No, it's his more recent one.
Like the
He
more
was
recent
doing.
DC films, or
Yes.
okay,
Phil Barassa was gonna.
Oh, Barrasso
okay,
is his fucking name.
Phil Barrasso.
Phil Barrasso.
Are you gonna ask me what I've been up to?
Yeah. So, what have you been watching, listening?
I've been continuing with my watch of Star Trek: The Next Generation. My friend Shane got me into watching that show, and I'm on season 6. It's got 7 seasons, 26 episodes a season, and I'm almost done with season 6. So I'm almost done with the show. It's been a lot of fun watching. I really have enjoyed that. I've also been playing a bit of Destiny with some friends. Not the biggest fan of that game, but just doing some quests and stuff like that. It's pretty much like a Discord call with gameplay. Like you just kind of talk and have something to do in the background.
Yeah, it's been a good way to waste a weekend.
Yeah, that's one way to say it. Well, our first topic for this video is The Bad Batch. I know we talked about it actually in our first video. We've talked about the first 4 episodes, and since then another 4 episodes have come out, and I thought we would cover them again, similar to what we did. Yeah, so Zach, what'd you think of the last 4 episodes?
I've enjoyed it. There's been a couple things that I've been missing that were in the first 4 episodes that I kind of miss, but I think they're starting to swing back into it. Like we talked about how there was different storylines involved, and I feel like they've pulled away from that a little bit.
Yeah, it's more focused up on like just the main Bad Batch and not the other stuff we were talking about, like the side
Right, like
storylines.
we haven't seen the Kaminoans or Crosshairs, or we haven't seen anybody else in a little while.
Yeah.
But that being said, we've also had a couple cameos. Is that the right word?
Yeah. Are you referring to Bib Fortuna, the Martez sisters, Rex, all that?
And the Rancor, yeah.
Rancor doesn't count.
I'm counting the Rancor.
Okay. And once again, obviously spoilers. Yeah, no, I feel the same way. The episode 5 and 6 I felt were really weak. Episode 5 deals with the Bad Batch working for this character called Sid, who's a Trandoshan. She hires them to rescue a baby Rancor, and like the solution to the problem is just to punch it really hard, and it was really dumb. Like the whole episode, it was cool to see the Zygerian slavers again, but besides that, it was like, what was the point of any of that? They just punched a baby Rancor in the head.
They're falling into that thing that you didn't like Bad Batch to begin with for.
Yeah, just
It's
the
like
caricatures. There's nothing going on, but like,
right, like here's the big guy. Oh, he's gonna punch something. Oh, the smart one's gonna think of a plan. Oh, the leader has to yell at somebody to do something.
yeah, and this is like a minor nitpick, but even in that episode, I feel that with some of the characters, like their writing is to service the story, and they don't really consider these characters from what they used, like previous stuff they were in. Mainly what I'm referring to is Echo. In that episode, he explains to Omega about slaves and how they're sold off like property and all this different stuff and forced into servitude. And it's like, that's literally what the clones are. And he's like explaining it to her.
Right.
And like, they're technically slaves to like a government as soldiers. Like, they have more honor bound outlook, but it was just kind of weird for him to be explaining what a slave is to her.
But I mean, this is the same girl who I'm assuming has read a book about some other planet and didn't know what dirt was.
Or has seen
Like-
people clean up the dirt on the floor.
Well, I mean, like, there's been a couple of things where, like, she's a clone, right? Like, she's been in this facility. She's done at least some of the training and education that everybody else has, and she doesn't know what.
That's what I mean. It's more for like the message of their episode, like the message they want to send. But it's weird that they use certain characters to relay that probably shouldn't like have to explain that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
But like that episode was just, she got a bow and arrow. Like, she has her signature weapon now, I guess, Omega. That's all that was achieved. And I guess we got to see how Echo's helmet worked, which everyone was debating over, which was cool because like the little backside like goes
Yeah,
out
no,
and
I
go
did.
over.
I did like that.
Like,
Because that was something that was starting to like weigh on my head. Like, how does he get that helmet?
yeah,
on?
everyone was like, how does that helmet fit over those things? And then like this episode showed that, and that's all that people talked about. They didn't talk about anything else in the episode. Bib Fortuna shows up. Who cares? Like,
All right, my second question that we're talking about helmets is Tech's helmet isn't airtight, right?
no.
Tech's helmet's weird.
Yeah.
It's just exposed.
Yeah, but then like the next episode was better, but it had two characters that I absolutely despise show up, which I wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be an issue.
If you've ever watched Clone Wars Season 7, there was a pointless four-parter that they stuck in the middle with Ahsoka with these two girls named Rafa and Trace, who were seriously two of the dumbest characters I think I've seen in Star Wars. Like, they're up there. And like they show up in this show, and I was not enjoying that. I guess they weren't as bad, but still, it's not saying much. They still find ways to annoy you.
Hope you're not expecting gratitude.
Should I have let the droid shoot you?
I'm going to give them credit. Like, nobody liked Ahsoka when she showed up,
Yeah.
but she had the time to grow into a character that everybody loved.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm just gonna cut them up that they don't get enough time for you to love them.
well, I guess my thing is with Ahsoka is like I kind of let it pass because she's a kid and she's being annoying, and then like she grows into an adult, and she really didn't bother me as a kid when I watched the show. And Omega, I feel like could feel the same way to somebody, but with those two, they're like adult characters and they're just stupid. They just act like idiots.
Yeah, I mean those two episodes particularly, I felt like were aged down a little bit.
Yeah. I could see that. And it's like the only thing that's really happening with they're for some reason the Bad Batch are working for this Trandoshan. I mean, the reason why they went to her was to figure out what bounty hunter is after them. They do the job with the little Rancor, and then she tells them the bounty hunter's name, and that's all she has. And then they keep working for her, and it doesn't really make any sense. It's like, just leave. And they don't don't want to work for her, and she's just like, I make money and you make money, but then she gives them a lower cut. So why are they sticking around this person when clearly they're shady?
Well, I mean, they don't know any better, and she's getting a profit out of it. So
I feel like they should know better. They're supposed to be like elite, like commando unit that goes like on covert missions, and they act like
but they don't have anybody like coming down from the top. Like, they don't know what the fuck's happening anymore.
Yeah, but you know what? It just doesn't.
I do. It's the whole Rambo situation where like he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he doesn't know. He knows that he's back in civilian. He doesn't know.
But another thing
What
about
to do.
the sixth episode is like Rafa and Trace come up with the plan how to get out of there instead of the two supposed tactical geniuses of Tech and Echo. And it's like, why wouldn't they think of that, or like have a better idea of how to get out of there?
Yeah, that was. I did notice that part as well.
And then like the dumbest joke I think in the show so far is like,
Is there an echo in here?
yeah,
Yes.
What?
I'm Echo.
I don't know. I that one caught me off guard enough that I thought it was funny.
I didn't understand it at first. I was like, what? Like,
Yeah,
it
was.
so weird. But like, they escape and they're saying how they don't like clones and then, they're just looking out for themselves, and Hunter gives them the tactical droid head. It made the Bad Batch look really stupid, because it's like, they don't know who these two girls are. They don't know if they're going to sell it to someone bad. And also, when they get the tactical droid head, they corner Trace, and Hunter's like over the radio comm, he's like, we have the tactical droid head. And I'm thinking like, no, she's holding it. And then she straight up says, no, you don't. And she runs off with it. It's like, why wouldn't you just take it from her? Like, why are you letting her hold it? It's just like, it made you guys look like such idiots. And then they give it to them and they don't know who they are.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the cherry on top for the next episode, once again with the writing not making too much sense, is Trace and Rafa say that they don't like clones. And then they call Captain Rex to tell them that there's some rogue clones, even though they just said they don't like clones. And it's like, what? I thought you don't like clones. Why do you have contact with a clone?
Well, would they have contact with Ahsoka, and then Ahsoka contacted Rex?
No, because you see the poncho in the hologram. They're talking to Rex.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, what the fuck? And like, even Rex says, I was told by Rafa and Trace. And it's like, why would they just bad writers. Who did this? I like the visuals of that episode. The whole factory, all that.
Yeah, the factory was fun, and seeing the droids kind of boot back up and like, what are we doing? Oh, I guess we're doing this now.
That got a laugh out of me. And I thought the part where Omega gets Toy Story 3'd into the trash compactor and Hunter's trying to save her. I thought the tension there was good. I was enjoying that. He's got the whole dad energy going where he's like trying to, desperately get to her. So, I enjoyed that. But the rest of it, I didn't care much for.
How did you feel about episode 7? Speaking of Rex.
It was better. I didn't love it. I think mainly because Rex shows up. He figures out they have not taken out their inhibitor chips, which is a good scene because he's just outright ready to shoot them, which I was like surprised by. Like he's ready to draw his gun on them, and he says, how they're ticking time bombs, which I loved. I loved all that. But then he's like, how do we get these chips out then? And Rex is like, let me think about it. And then they meet him on this planet, and then they get their chips removed, and then, okay, that story's done. I was expecting that to be more of a process throughout the season, because they've been hinting at the inhibitor chips, especially with Wrecker. Wrecker keeps hitting his head, and you can see that, like, it's activating for him. But by the end of this episode, all the main Bad Batch are now good. They don't have the chips. And it's just solved. It's like, we need to take them out. We took them out. We're done. I was expecting more to be there with that story.
The other thing of that was when Hunter and Rex walk away and they're talking about, like, he says Order 66, and he talks about all those things that you're not supposed to say in a room full of people with inhibitor chips.
Yeah.
Which kind of triggers Wrecker into going into his rage.
Yeah, that was a little dumb. I didn't think about that. I liked Wrecker with like the chip active. I have a morbid mind, but I thought it would have been better if they had to kill him.
Like either like he killed one of them or one of them killed him. Yeah. I agree with that.
To boost up the tension, but they won't do that because he's the comic relief. But I thought Omega was going to have to shoot him, and I was like, that's going to be really dark, and they won't do it, so then they didn't do it. But I would have loved that. That would have added a lot of tension to the situation,
Yeah.
And, some heavy drama that way. But, like, Wrecker goes batshit, but then they cut it out. No, he's fine. And then, like, Omega doesn't have trust issues. She's just okay. She's like, oh, he's good again. It's like, shouldn't she be a little traumatized that her friend just tried to kill her?
Yeah.
Like, I get that she, as a character, knows about the inhibitor chips. Like, she even thinks Crosshairs is okay. Like, he's not, being forced to do this. So...
Right.
She has a better understanding of that, but in a way it's still like, yeah, but he just tried to kill you. Like,
yeah.
Like, that's a little different. So, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't big on how it just seemed to wrap all that up. I wish that would have had more of a prominence in the story, but it seems like they're done with it.
Yeah. Like how Tech was saying that since we're augmented, how do they get the chips out? Like, it's a different brain.
Yeah, but then I guess they just do the same procedure as Rex did, so it's fine.
Right. Did Echo still have his?
I don't think they ever showed him with, like, a patch.
I couldn't remember seeing that or not.
Because I think they might be implying the fact that he's got, like, shit in his head. Like,
right.
They tested on him, and obviously the order doesn't work on him. So maybe it's not even there anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find it funny. They shave Tech's head for the part. He's got like a shaved piece in the animation, but Hunter just has the little thing sticking out from his bandana.
Yeah.
They didn't want to change his character model to have like a shaved part, which I understand. That'd just be weird to animate. Like
no,
that.
They give him like an undercut or something, which I don't know. He could still rock the mullet with an undercut.
Yeah, it was better than episodes 5 and 6, but it wasn't like amazing or anything. I feel like that's how the show has been. There's some episodes that I do think are stellar, but overall, so far, it's felt kind of lackluster.
I mean, same thing with the Clone Wars as a whole.
I guess,
Like I said when we first
I
talked
got
about it.
nostalgia and I'm biased. I really love like a lot
Right.
of stuff in it.
I mean, there was a couple filler arcs that you weren't a fan of, and
Yes, but
I mean that's fine.
I feel like majority was better. And so far with Bad Batch, it feels like the mediocrity is seeping in more. I'm still like enjoying the show and excited to watch it, especially after the last episode. Which
Oh yeah, the last episode was great.
Well, what do you think of episode 8? What do you think of it?
Episode 8 was great. Getting to see Crosshairs again.
Yeah, we haven't seen Crosshairs since episode 3 or the Empire.
Yeah.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
Like the galaxy's being taken over. We don't get to see, because we were talking about how good episode 3 was in our first video, showing that back and forth, and then that disappeared for 4 episodes. And I was like, where'd it go?
Yeah.
So they finally got back to that. We get to see the Kaminoans again and all that plot,
which was great because I was really missing it. Like we had said, one of my favorite parts was seeing all these other things happening in the world.
And then they just kind of went away, and it was like, we got to punch a Rancor in the head. And it's like,
yeah,
it's like, really? You couldn't have thought of something else?
Yeah, that was interesting.
But like, I think the setting was cool. A downed Venator ship, like the hallways and everything like that. This decommissioned, starship, and
it was familiar yet different.
Yeah, and
because we've seen the inside of their ships before, but this is all upside down and torn up.
I guess it like you said, it was like a familiar location, but they showed you more different stuff, like the artillery room, which is I don't think we've actually been in there in any Clone Wars episodes, maybe one. They go in there and they escape through the ship's engine, which is really neat.
Which is really cool.
I really like that scene. Made me think of Republic Commando, the video game. You enter through a torpedo bay in that game, but it's similar, where it's a huge like port and you just fly into it. But they're
this is not a place a person should be, but it's the only place you can get in.
But like with Crosshairs, I said, I think he's just straight up a villain at this point. Hunter's trying to talk to him, and I know they enhanced his chip, but he just seems evil now. Like he's like, shoot the kid. Like, there's like no hesitation on his end, and that just might be because of the chip, but I don't see him really coming back from this, especially what happens to him by the end of this episode. I think he's going to have a lot of animosity towards the group.
Right, like even if things get better, like, my brother did this to me, like, I'm fucked up now.
Yeah, we're referring to, if you've seen the episode, they decide to turn on the engine to cook them because they're inside the engine, which is such a cool set piece. And they blow up the engine and it bends down and starts to burn Crosshairs, which was caught me off guard because I was just like, oh shit, because he starts screaming,
Yeah, he gets his helmet knocked off and that full force of an engine thrusting into his face. And he just burns us out of his head.
No, but it's a very cool setting. It's very atmospheric. The tension's good. You got all this. They're trying to escape. The reason why they stayed is to grab a bunch of equipment, military grade equipment, to sell to this Trandoshan to pay off their debt that they have to her. And I like the fact Echo is like, or we could not give a damn about that and go with Rex. We're soldiers. What are we doing? Why are we messing around with this stupid
right.
We don't need to be doing this. And Hunter's still trying to figure out what they should do with their new lives. They're no longer soldiers technically. But Echo is a soldier, very much so, soldier guy, and he that's the only life he knows.
He also has loyalties to Rex and to Hunter now. So he's kind of, being the voice of reason here, like, we can go either way here. And I feel like Hunter is trying to make the best that he can for Omega.
Yeah.
While Rex is still trying to do what he deems is the right thing to do.
Well, we really don't know what Rex is up to. I'm assuming it has something to do with like the rebellion or something. They might.
Was he hit? Like, I've never seen. What is it? Rebels? Rebels comes after. So I know Rex is in it, but I don't know when or where. Like, I don't know any of the time frame after this, what Rex is up to.
From what I know, in Rebels, he's just kind of hanging out with Wolf and Gregor on a planet, and then the Rebels bring him into the rebellion. So I don't know what he really does, like, between that time. But obviously he's hooked up with the Martez sisters, and they're talking about the rebellion. Knowing Star Wars, that's obviously what they're referring to. Which is a little, that's a little fast for my taste. Where it's like they're, if people fighting against the Empire, it's like, already? Like that fast? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
Saw Gerrera's group makes sense, but other places, how quickly it sounds, like it's just like it's only happened like a couple weeks ago.
yeah, but some places have always like some people were always rebelling against the separatists, and now they're just rebelling against this new fascist order. Like it's like they just never stopped being a rebel.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great episode, especially compared to the last couple we had. I think the strongest episodes has been 1, 3, and 8 so far.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. 1 was good, 3 was great, and then
This one was really good.
I'm gonna ask you this now. What did you think of the ending of episode 8?
Well, I had a stupid grin on my face. I don't think I've fanboyed as hard as I did, because the Kaminoans earlier in the episode, Lama Su is talking about how he wants to hire more bounty hunters to get the female clone back, Omega. And he's like, I don't care. I'm just going to hire some more. We already have one on it, but we need her back now. So fucking Cad Bane shows up, which I am a huge fan of. He is my favorite bounty hunter in Star Wars. I love the design. Corey Burton does such an amazing job with his voice. He's such a badass character. He's literally a cowboy in Star Wars. And the minute he spoke, I knew who it was. I was like, I had the stupidest smile on my face. It was great. It was so good to see him again, because they released stuff for like Clone Wars Season 7 when the show got canceled. Dave Filoni showed some stuff, and they showed how Cad Bane died. And I was assuming they were sticking to that Boba Fett and him got in a duel and Cad Bane died. And this is after that. So out of any characters I thought would show up in this show, he was not on the list. So the fact that he popped up at all was so like awesome. I fucking loved it. All his dialogue, the movements of his character, the reason he's there, I thought it all fit. And they come in with this kick-ass music and a fucking Western duel out of nowhere at the end. It's so good. I had the stupidest. I don't want to be biased in saying that's why I liked the episode so much, but it really did put the cherry on top. It was very enjoyable for those reasons. And
because I've seen some of those episodes, and seeing that they I wouldn't say shot for shot, but they pretty much remade that scene with him and Boba with Hunter.
yeah.
Like, that was really cool.
And just like I said, the dialogue fits so well. Bane seems more grizzled and older, with even like how his cadence is in his voice and his movement. It may not really look that way, but to me, I feel like they did a good job making him feel like he's older, even though he doesn't look that different. He's a blue alien. He's got more scars on his face. He's experienced, and Hunter's like, once you've figured out, one clone, the rest are the same. And he's like, I'll surprise you. And he's like, I doubt that.
I doubt it.
I doubt that.
He's so confident, and it's so great. And what's got me even more excited is some people were saying, oh, what a pointless cameo. It's like, no, he's going to be in it. He has Omega. Like, he's going to be in more episodes, which got me really pumped. And the possibility of other bounty hunters showing up to try to take Omega from him and having all that, because Lama Su's hired a bunch of them.
That.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
So we could see a bunch of bounty hunters showing up, maybe Embo again, and like them trying to take her. So I think that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I agree. What did you think of his new look, like his new outfit? Because I know they changed it up a little bit.
That is the same outfit from the concept art they actually showed for Season 7 stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I actually have I made a minifigure like in 2017 of that.
Oh, I'm going to have to look at that then.
And it's, I could put it up on screen, but it's very similar. They shortened his hat. They made his hat a lot smaller, which I actually like quite a bit.
Yeah, I like that too.
And I think the boots are different, but like the torso and the arms are the exact same from that concept art and the unfinished episode. So they're like reusing that stuff, which is really cool. But no, I thought it was great to see him. I didn't think it was like a pointless cameo like a lot of people were saying, because it's like, well, he's obviously going to be in it more than just this.
And this isn't the first time we've had a chase with Cad Bane with a child either. So that's, this is familiar territory.
Yeah, really excited for more Bad Batch stuff, because like I am biased the fact that Bane's in it now.
Yeah, for sure.
But it also is like, I feel like it's picking up momentum again, and I hope they keep that.
Yeah.
Like we're halfway through the season, so it's like, how do you keep that momentum going? Because it feels like the show was like meandering, but now with Omega being taken, I feel like there might be more drive in the plot.
It's picked up a bit. Which is good because a lot of like halfway through a thing is usually where like filler episodes and character development it kind of gets stale. But
Yeah.
seems like there's going to be a little spike of action here in the middle.
Yeah, should be good. I mean, we have 8 more episodes, so I'm interested to see how the story goes. And I don't really know if they're going to try to do more seasons or is this going to be a one and done type story, which actually I might prefer. I think that'd be neat if it's just this season and it wraps up this story. I think that'd be cool. But if they continue it out, I don't know how they would, but
Yeah, I guess it all depends on how much they have to like tie up loose ends in the last 2 episodes, which I despise when shows do that. Like we have all these unanswered stuff. We'll just write. It's okay now.
yeah. I mean, they haven't
Oh,
really
you
had
know, nice
too
and
many
tidy.
threads going on, so that's what I mean. Like they could probably wrap it all up pretty neatly if they do it right.
Right.
Bad Batch, good.
Yeah. Good. If you haven't
I was worried.
watched it yet, 1, why are you listening to this, and 2, go watch it.
Yeah. You might not like episode 5 and 6. I wouldn't blame you, but it picks back up. It gets good again.
Yeah, hang on. So are you ready to talk about our next topic?
Yes. What is our next topic, Zach?
The next topic is a little show called Loki, which I have been enjoying.
The most viewed Disney Plus premiere show. The most amount of viewers tune in for the first episode,
Wow.
which I thought was.
I wonder if that's just
interesting.
because this is like they've proven themselves with the latest two.
I don't know. It was like the first episode. Or are you talking about the
No,
other
that's
two
what I mean.
shows?
But no, well, WandaVision came out and it was like, okay, I'll watch it, and then that was
but
really
I'm,
good.
I'm pretty sure it's like higher than like Mandalorian and stuff. Like it's the highest.
Oh,
viewed,
Disney. Okay,
yeah.
I thought it was just Marvel.
On Disney Plus, it is the highest viewed premiere.
Wow.
Which, because of that, apparently they're going to be switching their release schedules to Wednesdays instead of Fridays.
Which I think I'm okay with that.
Well, to me, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I think it's just a lot of people know Loki. He's actually a main character, unlike the other 2 shows were side characters, and there's more interest that way. But I don't know. I have no idea why people would be wanting to watch it.
I don't know. I just thought maybe they've proven themselves being able to do these seasonal shows.
Yeah, but either way, what do you think of Loki so far? We've watched.
I've been
3 episodes.
enjoying the hell out of it. It's really cool seeing Loki in a different light because we've seen bad Loki and good Loki and remorseful Loki, and now we're like he's just confused and he doesn't. He's like he's in over his head and he's still trying to be on top of everything and he's just not. And it's great.
Yeah, I wasn't big on it the first 2 episodes. The most recent episode that came out today, actually, while we're recording this, I really liked. But I wasn't big on it actually when it first started. I feel like it kind of undermined a lot of stuff that was set up previously. Spoilers, obviously, but this show is based off of the Loki that escaped in Endgame when they went back in time to New York, and how he's a time variant, pretty much. He's broken off the main timeline, and then there's the TVA, which are pretty much time cops that, to me, are like really overpowered. But they're starting to show they have more. They're not as strong as I thought. I was like, okay, these guys are really like they can bring Loki to their headquarters and he's like depowered and they can just kill him.
Yeah, there's no magic in the TVA.
Yeah, but it's like, well, could they just drag Thanos in there and kill him there? Like,
well, yeah, but that's the thing. They don't want to kill Thanos because what he does is what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay,
if there was a Thanos that
I'm gonna make this very clear. I am never been a big fan of time travel in anything. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like it makes stories confusing. I feel like it takes away any tension. And once you introduce it, it just, to me, adds more questions to your stories. The fact that this show's all about time travel is an immediate kind of put off to me. I don't like bringing characters back from the dead. I know I just got excited about Cad Bane, but it's like they didn't show
they didn't kill him. It was a
yeah, or like Darth Maul's the one exception of a character coming back from the dead because he wasn't really a character and they did something with him. But like when you kill, like Loki's died how many times now?
Well, he's died once. He's faked his death a handful of times.
That's yeah, but like it's one of those things where like in Endgame and Infinity War, I was like, okay, we're actually starting to kill characters now.
No resurrections this time.
And then, okay, Loki's technically still alive. It's not the same Loki.
No, like typically I would agree with you. Time travel gets to be convoluted and confusing, and like the rules of it never seems to make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cheap way to write some things off. And I agree with you on that point. But I feel like especially with this show, it's just easier not to think about it. They don't try to explain anything. It's like, this is the timeline. If you go off the timeline, we kill it, and then it's back to good.
Yeah, because I'll say that, like, this latest episode 3, I know what it is now. I know what the show's trying to do, so I kind of let it slide where I'm like, I'm not going to overthink this type of stuff and just going to watch it, and I've been enjoying it more. The biggest thing that was an off-put to me is in the TVA, Loki tries to get back to the Tesseract because he had the Tesseract brought with him, and they have this scene that they have like a ton of Infinity Stones like in a desk, and they have no power there, and they're like, there's the line, oh, we use them as paperweights, and it's like, people have died for these things in like the show, in like the Marvel Cinematic Universe broad story, characters have died over these things, and now they're paperweights.
Yeah, because that's what they were supposed to do. That was the whole point of them being there.
Having that as the plot point of that, the characters are set on this path that they do everything in the right order, I don't like, because I like the idea that our characters are making these decisions for themselves, free will, and it's like, no, it's been predetermined what they're going to do, exactly how they're going to do it. And they do bring it up in the second episode, Loki questioning all that, which I like.
Yeah.
But still, the point of just like, oh, all the Avengers, all that stuff, everyone that died, these guys planned it out, and like,
yeah, for sure,
it wasn't their own actions that caused all that.
No, and it I feel like it gives, like, Loki's broken in episode 2. He's like, is this the greatest power in the universe? Because everything that he's known to be god tier is a paperweight. Like, his entire world is just shattered. He doesn't know anything anymore. Yeah. And I feel like that gives a sort of weight to everything.
I guess I don't know. I'm not huge on it.
No, and I agree with you. Time travel gets wonky, and it's not necessary.
Even the character of Loki, I'm more enjoying it, like I said, with the latest episode, because I'm just accepting for what it is. With the first episode, Loki sees his whole life played out on a projector and goes through like this whole character arc in a minute, where like this Loki is the Loki from the first Avengers, and by the end of him watching the TVA's like recording of his life, pretty much becomes like the Loki we know from like the later movies,
right? Because everything's laid out for him to see. Like he watches.
But to me, I'm like,
mom die and the things that he does.
Yeah, but you have this character like go through a whole arc of like emotions in like a really like, it just came off like a forced scene, and all of a sudden now he's this way.
I don't know. That was a great scene. Just watching him go through everything.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought it was forced. Because how does he know that they're telling the truth? And he just accepts it, and he's just like, I'm a different person now, and I'll help you.
I don't know. I don't think he's helping anybody, especially in this third episode.
Yes.
I still think he's the same Loki. He's still out to do things for himself, but he's still learning everything again.
But by the end of the first episode, he has like a new outlook that he has at the end of like Thor Ragnarok. That was through a bunch of movies up to that point. It wasn't just right after the Avengers movie then he became that way.
I think he's put on a mask at some point, and he's just portraying himself. Because I mean, like this is fucking Loki, the god of mischief. Like, I don't take anything he says or does without a grain of salt.
To me, it just seemed really quick way to get him from this version of the character to that version. Instead of him being a different type of Loki, he's back to that kind of Loki, just like instant.
Yeah.
So I know I sound negative, but I do really like the show so far, especially in terms of presentation. Visually, I think it's the best out of the 3 Marvel shows that have come out. And
for sure.
And even with like the musical score, the musical composition, I don't remember
it's been great.
Yeah, I forget her name. Whoever does the music, it's just really, really different, and I really like it. It's got like this techno beat to it, similar to Thor Ragnarok in a way, where you got like the kind of like the Asgard music creeping in, but then like a techno thing with it, which was like, I really like.
Yeah, it's been great hearing. Did she by chance do the same music for Ragnarok?
I don't know.
Because a lot of the music in Ragnarok reminds me of the stuff in Loki, or vice versa, I should say.
Yeah, similar to the other Marvel shows, I think the characters are definitely like the highlights. The character interactions and stuff. These shows give a lot more chances for scenes of characters just talking, which I really like. It's not constantly having to be like action and then like a couple talking scenes. Like the majority of it is characters having conversations and then brief bits of action.
Yeah.
And I do also feel like I was complaining about in Falcon and Winter Soldier, the fight choreography. I feel like it's better here.
Watching this latest episode, there was a couple fight scenes where it, for whatever reason, it really took me out. It's like, oh, there's another cut. Oh, there's another cut. Oh, there's another
True,
cut.
but there's like in episode 3, there's like a long take at one point, which was nice.
Yeah.
And like different things like that. You're able to see more. My complaint with Falcon and Winter Soldier was the constant cutting, and they still do that, but there's a lot more wide shots and there's less like fancy abilities going on where it kind of draws you out of it. And I just think it's
I'm hoping
presented
Shang-Chi breaks that.
better. Yeah, I don't know. It might be a lot of CGI Asian guys fighting each other.
I just hope that from what little bit I've seen,
It'd be nice if they went a little more, like, if the Marvel action scenes, the best ones usually are like the big computer generated ones where they're able to have a lot of freedom and plan things out, and then when it comes to real stunts, they kind of put that to the side. Not to say that happens all the time, but it feels that way.
no, you're not wrong. But
This show, out of the others, has a lot more visual effects, it seems.
yeah, I feel like a lot of it is like the prequels movie magic stuff.
Huh. Are you not into it?
No. I just feel like they're doing it better.
Oh, okay. I usually, when
Like,
people
especially
refer to
with
the prequels, I'm assuming they're saying they don't like how it looks.
No,
like
it's just like, especially with a lot of stuff with the TVA offices, I feel like a lot of that is
like Jedi library type shit.
Yeah,
Just like
yeah,
standing
yeah.
in a green screen environment.
But I feel like I don't know. It might just be the backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah, I like the
It's
TVA's
definitely-
tactile stuff. They got like fucking typewriters and dial phones. It's nice. It's a nice little
Yeah, because it's
aesthetic.
all like aged in a way.
Yeah, they're advanced, but they got just normal like lockers and filing.
It's a lot of like
cabinets.
ember lighting, and it's really cool.
Yeah, like I said, presentation wise, I've really enjoyed it. I don't know. Well, I know kind of where this story they're going for, like the idea of taking over the timekeepers or destroying the timekeepers. So like I said, my complaint about the idea that everything's set in stone and the fact that they're trying to get rid of these guys might change that.
From what I've been reading and hearing, is a lot of people are speculating that this brings in a new wave of characters. Like this brings the X-Men in. This brings, because the time is messed up. Mutants can happen, and
Yeah, but also
all these
people
other
thought
things.
that Wanda was going to cause that, and they didn't do that.
Right, but I mean, somewhere it's bound to happen, and I don't think we know exactly when that's going to happen.
Probably the
And
new Doctor
it's
Strange.
speculating. Well, see, that's the thing. If it doesn't happen with Loki, then all that weight's going to fall onto Strange. It's just going to be one of these things
Yeah, well, that's what I.
where like somebody leaked that it's happening soon, and now everybody's speculating it's this show, it's that show, it's this show.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get too fixed on that because I want to experience this show for what it is and not like, hey, there's more. It's like,
Right, but I can't help to not be excited for that.
I know you're big into Marvel.
I'm
I understand that.
like, especially a proper Spider-Man universe in the Marvel Cinematic with
But like with currently with this show, like it's not over yet. I think are there 6 episodes? How many are they doing?
don't know.
I think it's 6. I think we're halfway through.
Oh, okay.
Could be wrong. Could you look?
Take
that
you. I'll
up?
take you. I'm looking it up. Got my phone. Loki premiered in just of 6 episodes.
Okay.
You were right.
So like for me currently, depending on how these next 3 episodes are, like if you're into Marvel, you're already probably watching it. Depending on where the story goes, I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody just yet. Like currently, I really enjoyed the 3rd episode, but like the first 2 were okay. Like I said, if you're big into Marvel, I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and I'd say check it out.
We kind of talked about this with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where like I want to recommend this show, but if you haven't watched the last 6 years worth of stuff, you're going to be lost and you're going to be confused.
Yeah, because they're at a point where Marvel's so big that they don't even bother explaining anything anymore.
No, it's like
They're like, the Avengers. You should arrest the Avengers because they're committing time, fraud or whatever. And it's like, if you don't know who the Avengers are, you'll be like, what?
or like when did they go back in time?
Yeah, or the whole first episode showing Loki's life. If you haven't seen all those movies, like, how are you going to know? And I guess I was also expecting the show to be more wacky time travel stuff, but it's been pretty tame, surprisingly.
What I mean, like I feel like in game they tried to explain time travel, and like they did a lot more wacky hijinks than this movie does. And the show is about time travel.
Yeah, but like I said, it just seems very like they had the second episode. They go to Pompeii, and I was expecting more of that, where they're just jumping around to all these places.
Be free, my horn friends, be free!
And they really are restrained that way, which is kind of neat. I'm glad they're not going crazy. The third episode takes place in one place pretty much, which I thought was
Which
neat.
was great
Yeah,
seeing that.
whole planet apocalypse thing. I'm interested like where the next episode's going to go. Like I said, I'm a little more invested now after this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd recommend it. Like I said, if you're into Marvel, you've probably already watched it. I'll see how I feel about the show once I see the rest of it.
That's fair. We still have 3 episodes to go, and
Yeah.
a lot more cameos, I feel like.
But also, like, if you're into sci-fi and science fiction, it's not a terrible show. There's worse things to watch.
Yeah, but you're going to be so confused.
Maybe.
Go watch Predestination if you want a time travel movie.
Don't watch Project Almanac. It's a terrible time travel movie. In that movie, they test a toy car, and it comes back fused into the concrete, and then they're like, it works. Let's use it on ourselves.
And did they get fused in the concrete?
No, it's really dumb. It's a stupid movie.
I might have to watch it now.
No.
I'll get drunk on a Tuesday and watch it.
Okay, so our third topic, we're going to be talking a little bit about Halo Infinite. It had a multiplayer reveal at E3. And I know we've mainly been just talking about movies and shows so far on this show. Haven't really talked about games too much. Me and Zach actually met while playing Xbox, so we're a bit into games. We like video games.
A little bit.
So
we talked about playing Destiny together, but we met playing Halo at one point.
yeah, we met playing through Halo 4, so Halo's always had a special place for me. I've always enjoyed those games, and I'm fairly excited for Halo Infinite. I think the both of us weren't big on Halo 5. I think we had fun with it, but it wasn't like the other Halos where it really kept us there for a long time.
For sure.
You're not the only one here because of him.
And this one, from what we've seen, it looks promising. It looks fun.
It looks like everything that we've enjoyed in the past with a new fresh painted coat, and it's looking really good.
Yeah, they keep talking about sandbox game, which the community has been talking in 343's ear since they started making Halo games, to focus on the sandbox, having interaction between abilities and weapons and vehicles, and having all that play off each other. Because the problem with 343's games is they started adding in like giving power to the player and not giving power to the player via sandbox. So what I'm trying to say is, like, in Halo 4, you can make loadouts, and you can give yourself like plasma grenades off the start, and pretty much making vehicles kind of pointless because you could just blow up vehicles with your loadout and not power weapons on the map. So there was no map control. You could spawn with a DMR and snipe people across the map. And Halo 5 did a similar thing where they added all these Spartan abilities, which some were broken, and then others were pointless. It seems like with this game, they're going more back for that traditional Halo, where, like in Halo 3, there's armor pickups or equipment. They seem to be doing, like, armor abilities from the other games, but they're equipment style. Like, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I've watched the reveal a couple of times now, and I'm kind of confused. Like, you get your overshield, and that lasts for a little bit. Sometimes you get the full shield and it trickles down.
Yeah.
But like with the grapple hook, I don't know how they're going to limit that. Like, are you going to get 3 grapple hooks before,
I think,
the power-up's over?
I think the grapple hook either is going to have a bunch of charges or it's going to be on a timer, so you're not going to be able to spam it.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to balance that, because obviously that would be more powerful in the long run than an overshield. So that's everybody's going to be running for.
I get what you're saying, because like with the other things, it seems to be a one-time use, and the grapple seems to be multiple. So either you're going to have a certain amount of uses, or it's on a cooldown, which might be kind of broken.
Well, and the other thing with that is they've been saying, if you kill somebody with a power-up, you can pick it up if they don't use it.
Yeah.
So is it going to just be this keep away thing with a grapple hook, where one team gets the grapple hook and they just run around with it? Or
yeah, I don't know, because the grapple hook is the only pickup that seems to have this more than one use type of thing going on.
They have shown there's one, like, it's like a reflect where you can put your forearm up and you can block something. I don't know, that might have another recharge on it.
I think that one,
the barrier that they've shown off, looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, like the wall shield, kind of like a bubble shield.
Yeah.
But not as good. Yeah, this reflector thing, which is neat. I see a lot of cool gameplay stuff. You can reflect plasma pistol shots. You can actually, there's a clip of a guy using it on the ground to boost himself off the ground.
Yeah.
So it seems to have a bit of a shockwave type of thing where it sends stuff flying back, which I could see a lot of fun stuff with that, especially talking about how they're hammering home the point about sandbox type game stuff. So
sure.
Let's say someone lunges at you with an energy sword, can you bounce them back?
Oh yeah, or if they hit you with a grab hammer, or
Like,
that would be really cool.
I like that synergy stuff. From what we've seen, there hasn't been, like, that one's new. The grapple hook we've known about, and the drop wall. There's a new sensor dart, which I'm not crazy about. It's pretty much like Promethean vision. It just scans the environment.
It reminds me a lot of Titanfall 2 with the sensor kunai.
But it's like...
But there's definitely like a balance thing where like some of those are definitely more useful than others.
And you got your active camo or your overshield. But I'd rather them be pickups on the map than spawning with them. I love that.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I know I've said to you, I'm glad that they're doing a better announcer. Not to say the old announcer wasn't good. It's just having it personalized and being more vocal about where things are and when. Because there's a lot of maps that I don't know where the sniper rifle drops. Like I just don't know.
Yeah, I'm not big on the AI thing. I think I just like the base announcer announcing like big game moments. I don't know if I want someone in my ear chatting off, because in Halo 5 they added Spartan chatter, which was like the awful thing where your Spartans talked like dude bros. I just turned that off right away.
I kept that because I thought it was very thought it was cool.
I hated
your
it.
Spartan would kind of like mention where he heard shots.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
I liked it.
Oh, this is different tastes, I guess.
For sure,
but
as
like,
you can tell from our
with
totally
like
different outfit.
with the personal AI, I hope that the base Halo announcer, if you could make him your AI, I'd be okay with that.
I mean, they might keep him for like the big moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like
He's the overhead announcer, and you just have an AI that says, "Oh, you got the flag. Run it to base."
Yeah, but like I'm saying, if you could pick him as your AI, so he's like, "Get the flag back to base," like I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
But my one concern with the game is like it's weird. The game's been in development for like what 6 years now because of COVID, and it's a really long development for a Halo game. But we haven't seen like tons. It really looks like there's not a lot of weapons in the game. Like I don't know if they're just hiding a lot of stuff. But from what we've seen like in this video, we got to see the sniper rifle and the rocket launcher, and
we saw the
skewer.
Skewer, there it is.
That's cool. I've always actually kind of wanted a brute sniper type thing with a giant spike, and this is literally that. It's more of a heavy weapon, but it looks like it can one-shot people. And
a lot of what I saw was them, because you were talking about how you were afraid everything was going to be ADS. Everything has a scope and you just shoot that way.
Yeah.
And watching that review again, the only two weapons that they scope down is the sniper rifle and the skewer.
They do zoom in the BR, which makes sense. And there's two parts you see the assault rifle with the smart link from Halo 5 for a brief second. So it is going to be in the game. And you'd see it with the Needler as well, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if every weapon's going to have it, but I still don't feel like spray and pray type weapons need it at all. Halo's never had that. It's played fine without it. I don't know why you need it.
I'm talking about the overview, the 12-minute video. The only two that they scope in, because I watched it 3 times before coming on here. They don't ADS at all in that video.
I just said other things that zoomed in, and you just like
right. But I'm letting you know that I'm talking about. You're talking about the reveal trailer. I'm talking about the overview.
I'm talking about the overview.
Oh, you're gonna have to watch it again.
I did. I don't think you noticed.
You're wrong, my.
I will send you screenshots, you son of a bitch.
Oh.
They even they zoom in a different weapon too. No, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna be eating your words, son.
I wonder how much this is gonna get cut out.
I mean, even we know the commando zooms in. That zoomed in the overview. Well, you said they only zoomed in 2 things. I'm gonna have so many clips of things zooming in. Earning everything on the map. Also.
The only two that they scope in, because I watched it 3 times before coming on. You're gonna have to watch it again. I was just gonna ask you how you felt about like the time to kill, because I feel like it's a little short.
I didn't feel like the time to kill was that short. I don't like the fact that the guns don't seem to have like good sound effects. They all sound weak.
Really?
Yeah, the assault rifle.
I know that was your problem with Halo 5.
Yeah, Halo 4 had such beefy sound effects, and then Halo 5 in a way. Halo 5 made all the Covenant guns like pew pew, and then the UNSC ones sounded like little.
They were all firing 9mm.
Yeah,
or 22s.
Yeah, and then like the assault rifle in this has a really weak sound. And then like the Bulldog, the new shotgun, is just kind of like a pa pa pa.
That overshield, and then they could take it, use it for themselves.
It's not like a boom, chink chink. It's like It sounds
Like we don't play it very often, but the Halo 2 anniversary, the sound effects on there squeal like little school children when we do play that.
yeah,
Because the sound effects are so good.
like the sound effects in that are really crisp.
It's great.
So I don't know. Hearing the sound effects, it was just kind of like I want a little more oomph to my guns.
No, I hear you. But I feel like they're trying to tone some of that down just so it's not distracting.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games now, it's a lot of sound oriented.
Oh, what do you think
gotta
of
be
the shield break effect?
From what I've seen, I do like it. Kind of shows you where your bullets are hitting on an enemy.
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where there's a Spartan running horizontal, and he hits the first two in the head, and the head lights up, and the like last four is in the body, and the body lights up.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I like being able to see. Oh, I didn't hit him in the head. I hit him in the shoulder. Okay, I need to adjust for that.
Yeah, I think the only thing I didn't like is how bright the shield crack is. Because when their shields break, it's like a bright yellow light. It like almost outlines the entire character.
Right.
And it's just a little cartoony. It's like the other Halos were just kind of like, you see like a little armor effect around them.
Yeah, it's just like a quick burst.
Yeah, and in this, it's like really bright. And then it's got all the hexagons. I don't know.
I
feel like it could be
know-
toned down.
I know in the campaign trailer it was awful. It was.
Well, yeah, from the first person view, they've cut that back. I think you actually see like your Spartan's hand light up and then it
Yeah.
break, and like, you can see your character instead of it on your screen like that.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's just ease. Like, okay, I clearly saw the shield break.
Yeah.
You can't get that confused with something else. Like that's very clear and distinct. Like that's what that was.
But it's also like you got your little health bar in your HUD, and that always informs you if it breaks. And then like there's usually been pretty good visual cues to if someone else's are broke. It just seems like they're overdoing it a little bit for me.
Yeah, and we haven't seen much of the multiplayer HUD.
No, a few little brief here and there, and this is obviously like trailer stuff. It never usually
Sure.
stays the exact same. But graphically, from when the game was shown, they've gone up. Like the game has a much more next-gen look. When they initially showed off Halo Infinite, it looked pretty cartoony. Textures were just kind of flat.
Everything was flat and smooth, and there was no texture to anything.
The clouds were popping in and out of the environment. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good first look. They've taken criticism well because the game looks great.
Yeah, and they I know when we first talked about it, I mentioned that they're building themselves their own hype, or they show something that's not complete, and then they show something that is complete. It's like, oh, they spent all this time making it look better, when in reality they just chose to show an unfinished product at first viewing.
What do you think of like the art style change for the Spartans?
I really like it. Even like seeing some of like the new textured ODST armor sets, like I really like this new style.
Like you and me, we don't hate 4 and 5 style. We played those games and we like them. Like
Yeah.
I like the armor sets in those games. I know not everybody does. I'm one who actually likes the Halo 4 Master Chief design, but I do agree that there's something just charming about the original Halo aesthetic. It's just kind of simple geometry. There's no convoluted crazy designs. It's blocky, and this is going much more in that direction. There's a lot of Halo Reach-esque looking stuff, from the battle rifles design to a lot of the armor sets, and they actually have armor sets from Halo 4 and 5 in this, but they're Halo Reach / Halo 3 stylized. They're much more simplistic. They're not as complicated, which I think is great.
Yeah, like they're showing, like, people like me who love the Reach style stuff. I can make myself look Reach in this new environment. If people absolutely love Halo 3 and they want to run the CQB armor set, they can do it, and it's everything kind of put together, and it looks good. It looks unified, and it doesn't look like we were talking about how they introduced Halo 4 armor sets into Halo 3.
Yeah.
And just how it doesn't look right.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't say it looks bad, it just looks
the
like it
art
doesn't
styles
fit.
conflict. It's
Yeah.
very different. One's very highly detailed, and the other one's, like I said, simplistic. Not in a bad
right.
way.
It's the fact that you're moving a world of like 12 polygon to 24 polygon. It's like that doesn't look right.
Yeah, they came out with this news. I've known about this for a while, but I guess a lot of people didn't know about this until E3. Halo Infinite's multiplayer is going to be free to play. You don't actually have to buy it with Halo Infinite. You can just install it. It'll be available on the Game Pass, and even if you don't have Game Pass, you can just install the game, which which is great for Halo. I mean, it's going to keep the player base hopefully large because it's easier for people to enter the series without having to worry about paying. It's accessible. They don't have to pay for it. It's like they can take a risk on this Halo game. They're like, maybe I'll try this out. I can just install it. If I don't like it, I can uninstall it. But my only worry with that is, one, how big is the campaign going to be and justify its $60 price tag if you don't need to pay for the multiplayer? You're only paying for the campaign.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it's anything like, let's say The Witcher, where like you have this main story, but there's these little side things that you can do. As the character, I don't see that being like, I don't see Master Chief going and collecting apples for,
Exactly. Halo,
like, run in the woods. Like, that just...
To get into a little bit, Infinite's supposed to be open world. To me, with Halo, I like those design developer-made missions, and I hope those are still in the game. And I don't know how that's going to conflict with an open world design. Because there's a lot of open world games I've played that are boring as shit. So I'm worried of Halo falling into that, like the modern Far Cry's or Assassin's Creed games, where it's just copy-pasted shit everywhere.
I don't know if you've ever played the Shadow of War games.
I have not.
Like, you can do all these side things to make the main story easier, but you don't, it's all optional.
Mm-hmm.
If they do something like that, where, like, you can go, assault these anti-air batteries to make, the main mission easier, to add a little more time to the gameplay, or I can see that working, but anything other than that, I don't know.
But my biggest thing is, like, games are priced at $60. Halo games beforehand, you're paying for campaign, multiplayer, Forge, theater. And this case, it's like, well, Forge, multiplayer, and theater are all going to be free, and you're just going to be paying for the campaign. Is it going to be worth that price tag, or should they lower the price? Should it be a $40 game instead of a $60 game?
I don't know.
That's my thing, because it's like, if I buy this game and it feels like it's not worth $60, if it's really short, it's like I'm going to feel gypped.
Yeah. I'm also worried about this thing that the Master Chief Collection is doing with the seasonal passes.
Yeah.
I like their version of the season pass, where it's if you don't get everything in it, it doesn't go away. You can always, put more experience into it and unlock the stuff that you want. But I don't like the only way that you can unlock stuff is completing challenges.
Yeah. I was going to say, my fear for the multiplayer being free to play is they're going to monetize the hell out of the game, because they can justify putting everything behind paywalls because, well, you technically didn't buy the game, which in other free-to-play games hasn't bothered me that much. But in a Halo game, one of the fun things about playing is unlocking armor and customizing your guy, and Halo 5 fucking nosedived into the dirt with that because they hid everything behind random loot packs. So you never knew what you were getting. You didn't have a goal in mind. Halo Infinite, they're saying there's multiple ways to unlock armor. They named 3 of which. One is just playing the game. You can unlock armor sets, which I'm fine with. They have challenges for like that samurai-looking armor. If you finish that, you can get that armor set. I'm all for that. And the fact that it'll be in the game all the time, it's not going to ever expire. You can just get it whenever you want. That's cool. Then they have a battle pass, which I'm not as hyped about, where you give up $10. It's filled with 3 armor sets you really want and a bunch of fucking emblems and like weapon skins, and it's like, I feel like it's not going to justify its price. And then they're going to have the best of the best looking shit directly purchasable, because they did say that there's going to be stuff that you can buy, but all these things are locked to whatever they are. So like that samurai armor you can only get by playing the game. You can't get it in the battle pass, and you can't buy it. So there's going to be another armor set that you can only buy. You can't get it in the battle pass, and you can't unlock it by playing. You bet your ass the best looking stuff in the game is going to be the buyable ones.
Yes.
And that worries me, because I feel like it just takes away some of the fun of the game. It's like, oh, how'd you get that cool armor set? Oh, I bought it with money.
Bought it. I'm also curious if they're going to do any like seasonal maps, because like I haven't seen it happen in a little while now, but there used to be like you buy a season pass and you get new maps in the game.
Yeah, they've kind of... Most games have gone away from that to keep the player base together. Maps are just freely added to the game. Like Rainbow Six Siege or other games of that type. Halo 5, actually, is the same. They just add maps. It was all free. Well, free, quotation marks.
I'm just trying to find other ways for them to make money that isn't as silly as that,
Well, it's also like they're going the Destiny route, where you can't change the color of your armor. There's going to be armor coding, like shaders, which will probably be purchasable, which I'm not big on. I'd rather be able to color my Spartan how I want. Sure, you get some unique looks. You get like these camo looks. There's that one Spartan they've been...
Yeah, the soldier.
Oh no, I was gonna say that the one Spartan they keep tagging around the promotional stuff, the one that's gray with the red arm.
Oh,
Like they must be really proud of that one because they keep showing it off. Like, look at that, look at he's got a red arm. It's fucking C-3PO from Force Awakens.
or Shepard from Mass Effect. What do you like? What are your thoughts? Like, are you gonna get it? Or are you gonna hold off on a little while? Are you gonna?
It's a bigger bar to entry. I want to pick it up, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it the minute it comes out. You know, due to buying a new console and everything.
Yeah, that's I'm in a very similar boat, and I'm hoping that they do a bundle with a console and
Yeah.
game included, because that would be fancy.
Yeah. I'm optimistic, but 343 has made a lot of mistakes, and it sounds like Infinite's development has been hellish. We'll see what the end product is. They have to deal with a lot of the dead weight of Halo 5, broken reputation. So I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like with the Master Chief Collection, they've kind of redeemed themselves a little bit.
I'm excited. But, yeah, anything else you got to say about Halo Infinite?
No, I don't believe I do.
Okay, well, that about does it for episode 3. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys later.
Bye, everybody.